I'm Axolile Ntsika Mandaba Qina, studying masters now in theology. I've been in Stellenbosch since 2011, so it's my 5th year.
I'm Melanie Verwoerd. I came to Stellenbosch in 1985 to study theology. I was the only woman in my class of 30 men. And then I went on to do an honours in philosophy and then eventually a master's in philosophy.
Yeah, now I'm SRC Chairperson for 2015-2016. So yeah, that's me.
I didn't become a theology minister. I didn't become a dominee in the NG Kerk. Eventually, through a whole series of events, met Nelson Mandela, joined the ANC. Then in 1994, Nelson Mandela asked whether I would stand for Parliament. I got re-elected in 1999. And then I was appointed as South Africa's ambassador to Ireland in 2001, and then became head of UNICEF in Ireland for another almost 5 years.
I think the most significant thing is being the first black or second black SRC chairperson, especially at a time where transformation is a prominent discussion in higher education and in a predominantly white university. I think I've always been a natural leader and I didn't realize it. My parents, first I was born in Butterworth in Eastern Cape. In Umtata in Eastern Cape, and then we moved to Butterworth. My real mom passed away. That's when my stepmom, she raised me, and then from there we moved to Joburg. We went to Altyd Park, and that was cool. Altyd Park was a very interesting time in my life. I was trying to figure out who I was. And then from when I was 18, then I went to the initiation school because I'm Xhosa. So growing up, it was a journey of identity, a journey of knowing who I am.
This is where I spend a lot of time at the BJ. It was then called the BJ Foster Building. Look, I was at Stellenbosch from 1985, and as we will recall, those were the dark days. I remember there was a state of emergency announced in my first year at some stage, and the thing about the Verwoerd surname is that it holds a certain symbolism for people. And obviously for one side of the population, especially at that time, it was an absolute revered surname, and on the other side it was incredibly hated. Originally when I met Wilhelm, I didn't realize who he was. And everybody looked at me and said, "Did you not know who he is?" And I went, "No, who is he?" And they said, "He's the grandson of H.F. Verwoerd." I mean, I knew he was a Verwoerd, but I didn't put the two together. And when I eventually did, I gave him a really hard time for it. You know, I wanted to be sure where he stood politically. And yes, it took us on a political journey. We walked that road together. We felt that we could, well, burst the Afrikaner establishment bubble a little bit.
We call it the Stellenbosch bubble. Because like if you come to Stellenbosch, you see a whole lot of white people and they're the black people. And we're a minority. But in South Africa, it's not the case. So that's a huge difference.
We're in Kaimandi. This is where I spent enormous amount of time, even when I was, well, certainly when I was doing postgraduate work. And at that stage, I even had small children, and they would run around here like crazy. Everybody knew them, these little blonde kids. But when you stand here, you can really see the apartheid design from the past. Because here we are in Kaimandi, just down there is the railway line, which was of course the historically black area. Over there you can see the National Road, and on that side of the railway line, that's the historically coloured area, as well as over there of Cluttersville and Idas Valley. And then there, the beautiful leafy, tree-filled areas of the white areas in Stellenbosch and the university and the historically white areas.
How do we work with the history, the strong history on Stellenbosch? I think you have to expose that history, but also not expose it in terms of hate, expose it with a relentless love that encourages change.
I'm certainly very proud of the Stellenbosch students and of all races, because things developed, and about the involvement that they showed.
I think it's exciting for me because I realize that we sort of had a honeymoon in South Africa. We've delved through a lot in reconciliation, but I don't think we truly understood the the actual social constructions that apartheid actually left on people.
We have seen the new generation coming up. Now Stellenbosch has come to a new crossroads.
Yeah, so we're at a crossroads, we have a choice. Not only as Stellenbosch and stuff, but as also as South Africa, to really build our nation, a society where everyone has equal opportunity to education.
Yes, I have to say that for a long time I didn't like to even say that I had got my degrees at Stellenbosch, even though I knew they were really good degrees. So today I would be very much more comfortable in saying that.
So what does it mean to be a Matie? It means that we are diverse. It is a bubble that needs to be broken. It is discourse, it is consciousness, it is working towards South Africa that we want to see.